Hi, and welcome to the first session of our mini-series exploring the future of working post-pandemic with a focus on flexible working. So I'm Victoria McConachie, and I'm joined today by my colleague and fellow Minerva participant, Lexi Moffatt.
Hello.
So we're part of the Minerva Now Women's Leadership Course Class of 21. So this is us. So you can just see the faces of the people behind the sessions. Here we all are. So we're a group of women working across the health and social care in the UK, and we've been doing this leadership and development course throughout the course of this last year. Next slide. So as our final module, we're producing a mini-series of videos and hosting a Twitter chat exploring the future of work post-pandemic. This is the first session. We'll be exploring opportunities for flexible working post-pandemic in this one. Session 2 will look at the challenges for flexible working, and session 3 will give an overview of how 2 managers within the NHS make it work for them. Then on the 2nd of June, which is Flexible Working Day, we'll be running a Twitter chat between 6 and 7 p.m. and you can join in and give your views and of course any tips and advice for other people. Next slide, please. So in this session, we're going to highlight the opportunities that flexible working presents for individuals, employers and the system as a whole. So as well as drawing on things that we've learned from working differently during the pandemic. So during the session, we will cover personal impact, organisational impact, patient and system impact, and how we can maximise those opportunities. We've gathered thoughts, experiences from colleagues within the health sector, as well as our own experiences as leaders within the NHS. I will add that views given in these sessions are that of our own and do not necessarily represent that of our employing organisation. Next slide, please. So what is flexible working? Well, there's lots of different terms being used at the moment for how we'll work going forward, and many of them have got different meanings for different people and for different organisations. So in this session, we're going to talk about flexible working to show how there's an opportunity for people to work in different places, in different ways, at different times, and increase their productivity in life as well as work. So this means using time, places and technology to work efficiently and effectively. Flexible working and how we work in the future is not just about working from home, not just about being part-time, and it's not just about having compressed hours. It's about working differently. So for example, allowing frontline health professionals to use technology to work whilst on visits without needing to return to base, as well as doing online and telephone appointments. Everything doesn't have to be face-to-face, whether in an office or with patients, and it doesn't have to be 9 till 5. It's people being able to fit in caring responsibilities, exercise, hobbies, health appointments, and the rest of life alongside work deliverables. Work is something you do, not somewhere you travel to. Next slide, please. So personal impact. So from a personal perspective, we found that many people had a positive experience of working differently during the pandemic. Although people want different things from work post-pandemic, most said that they want to retain an element of the flexibility that they've had. So working from home or in another remote location occasionally, so working different hours and not sticking to that 9 to 5. Many were happy with the time that they gained, which enabled them to have a better life balance. So this could be for exercise, caring responsibilities, and working when they feel that they're being most productive and being most creative, fitting in life's other demands around work. Reduced commuting left many with reduced stress and increased time. So many people also save money from this, not having to commute or buy lunch. The overall general flexibility that many people have had has enabled them to better manage other responsibilities and demands, and this feeds into increased well-being. People feel empowered and trusted, and they manage themselves and their deliverables. Now, a common experience we've all had, and we'll see that in some of the quotes here, and the evidence that we've seen of one another working flexibly. And you get a window into the whole life of colleagues, and this has got to have a positive impact on relationships going forwards. Now, as we said in the previous slide, the meaning of flexible working has changed a lot. And as leaders, we've got to embrace this and not just see it as a contractual opportunity for those with caring responsibilities. It can be beneficial for everyone, providing it's managed well and with the needs of the organisation and the individuals in mind. Now, I'll pass you over to Lexi, who'll go through the wider impacts of flexible working and how we can maximise those opportunities.
Thank you, Victoria. So as well as the personal impacts that Victoria discussed, we think that flexible working presents many opportunities for employers too. The biggest theme here stems from developing and maintaining a culture of trust. Employees that are trusted are engaged, feel empowered, and work at their best. This in turn impacts on productivity, performance, relationships at work, and absence rates. And it has a very positive impact on attracting and retaining a wider talent pool. Flexible working has the potential to be inclusive and increase diversity of all types within the workforce, as people's unique circumstances can be better catered for. It has been proven that you don't need everyone in the same place to be part of a productive meeting. Employers who have recognised the heightened priority of family life and provided practical support throughout the pandemic will retain and gain talented employees. Those who have not done so will potentially lose out. It will become increasingly common for staff to judge their employers on how they were supported during the pandemic and what the approach and culture around flexible working is going forwards. And this will have an impact on recruitment and retention. For example, a survey carried out this year, the 2021 Modern Families Index Spotlight, found that 2/3 of working parents would consider an employer's childcare support arrangements before accepting or applying for a new job. And this will become more common across all types of staff, looking at all types of roles. As well as the cost impact of improved recruitment and retention, there are also more obvious opportunities for employers to save on travel costs and building costs. And less travel and commuting will also support organisations in achieving sustainability targets. The improved use of technology has resulted in digital skills improving, which has enabled better collaboration, new approaches, use of new tools, increased productivity, increased satisfaction from employees, which all again impact on performance and productivity. There has been a general acceptance of different ways of working. Employees feel empowered, new and improved tools and ways of delivering. People have been able to share their knowledge, increase their skills, and use new services. Managers have been able to have an increased focus on leading and not having to focus on applying rules, checking who's where, when, presenteeism, and this has changed perspectives. It should be possible to assess people on the work output, not just on where they are. The third area that we're going to look at is some of the positive impacts that working differently during the pandemic has had on the health and care system, service delivery, and patient experience, and the opportunities this creates looking forwards. There has been a phenomenal rate of progress. People say things such as 5 years in 5 weeks, digital uptake and improvement of skills across health and social care, much of it driven by people having to work differently. Services were redesigned and used for the first time by staff and patients, from increased online and video consultations with healthcare professionals, increased use of 111, 111 online, the NHS website for triage and information, virtual smart cards, better for those in PPE, health monitoring at home, clinicians and health advisors working remotely, community workers not needing to return to office spaces as part of their day. This has resulted in the provision of services in ways that are more convenient and accessible for service users, and has changed how some care professionals view the use of technology and the opportunity it affords them in providing services in the future. Increased acceptance, confidence with and use of health tech by patients has been better for them and for services, and supports managing demand and scarce resources. People's digital skills have been boosted, which has crossover impacts into other areas of life and improves access to other services as well. There has been a lot of new innovation in technology, improved abilities to collect data to support care, make sure the right data is in the right place and available to the right people, so that the system-wide response can be tailored, and this approach can be used in response to other healthcare challenges going forwards. There's also been a cost and carbon footprint benefit for the system, better value for money, and improved ability to target the right services where they're most needed. So why is now the time of opportunity? The changes brought about by the pandemic have shown many people some of what is possible and pushed many people far outside previous comfort zones, beliefs, and behaviours. This is true both in respect of people's views of themselves, their needs and preferences, and in respect of managing others and the phenomenal things that the health and care workforce has achieved. Many of us are now empowered with new skills and viewpoints. Although these significant shifts have been brought about by necessity, various surveys that have been undertaken report that the UK workforce really does want to retain this flexibility after the pandemic. Examples include the Work After Lockdown, a major research project funded by the Economic and Social Research Council, which found 73% of employees wanting to continue working from home. The 2021 Modern Families Index Spotlight, 18% of people expressed a wish to work entirely from home, and a further 57% favoured a mixture. There is a strong desire to reflect on our collective experiences and learn from them, and we think an expectation of change amongst many people. Many of us, individually and organisationally, have not embedded into new habits and cultures yet, and so this time of flux is the time to work out what we want going forwards. We think that flexible working in its many guises represents opportunities to all of us, from reasonably obvious personal benefits through to the organisational employer benefits and impact on services and their users that we've discussed. Those who are prepared to seize these will reap the rewards. So we've identified lots of opportunities, and the key thing now is to consider how to maximise these and make this work. There are many behavioural and cultural aspects here. You need buy-in and support at every level from top to bottom. You need policies and a culture that makes working differently available and acceptable to everybody. It's not something seen only for certain categories of people or for certain roles. It's not automatically discounted as not applicable for non-office-based roles. It doesn't require an acceptable reason such as childcare. And so effort needs to be put into addressing these misconceptions. There needs to be support of the viewpoint that there is no right or normal. Flexibility is the key word here. Team charters are going to become important, covering points such as how the teams interact with each other, make information available to each other, having visible calendars and statuses, agreed behaviours about how to get in touch and work around different people's availability, expectations that if one person sends a communication at a certain time, others don't have to respond immediately. There needs to be open communication of people's expectations and understanding of the demands that different people are trying to balance. Provision and use of the right technologies, very important, and something organisations have a big role in ensuring is in place, as well as individually embrace learning how to use these technologies and maximise what it can offer us. We suggest quite a try it and see approach. Again, flexibility is the key word. Try something, change something. Something might work for 6 months and then change to something else. We really suggest people apply thought and logic rather than just a new set of rules for when they're together. Have good reasons for getting together. Think about team building and collaboration. Consider the purpose of the office, the workplace, and how best to match the how, when, and where of the work that needs doing and the person doing it. As an organisation, collaboration will be needed across HR, facilities, IT, everybody really, to make sure the right policies, places, and technology is all in place to support the culture. You don't want conflicting messages within an organisation, but at the same time, keep coming back to that one size doesn't fit all. As we've talked about, flexible working means different things for different roles, and certainly doesn't just mean working from home. Common themes of trust, communication, agreement, and respect are absolutely key, and there is a huge opportunity to create better working environments and better service delivery. We expect this to remain a hot topic and to see an increased number of requests to work flexibly post-lockdown. And we believe those that embrace these opportunities will reap the rewards and help make work post-pandemic different and better for everyone. We hope you have been inspired by this discussion of opportunities. We are also aware that there are some challenges, so please check out our next session, which discusses these, and session 3, which is more practical examples of how to make it work. And also, please do join our Twitter chat on Flexible Working Day on the 2nd of June. We will be posing some questions and we'd love to hear some thoughts and opinions from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.